in need of a job when I was very young boy. So this was the only job that I got. I started my career with Lawrence and Mayo. So it was a very good organization. What happened? I found the bigger competition coming into it. So I saw, opposite to our store, there was a big store with, 4 shutters. They opened it, and then beside us there was a 2 shutter store, and then he went on to make it 4 shutter. We have touched about 25 lakhs per month, which even my toothbrushes are in yellow color. So
Okay.
very good responses, and today we are able to dispense a product, to customers who live in UK, US, even in New Delhi, and so how do we do that? The business model is very simple. See, our association with Essilor is now, I can tell you, from the day one till date. And Essilor has their, consultants placed in all the locations. You take any location in India, they have a consultant there. So recently we sold a pair in Bangladesh. Our customer had put a query from Bangladesh asking for this kind of lens, and then I got in touch with the consultant there, Essilor consultant, and he helped me agreement with Luxottica for Luxottica Priority Store. So we've been Essilor Expert Store for the last 3 years, and now we have also become Luxottica Priority Store. So with 525 subscribers, I might have generated over 7-8 lakh rupees of business as of now. AIs are becoming very popular. Recently, when I went to Zeiss Vision Center, I could see the machines are doing so much of work. And frankly speaking, the money that I spend is peanut. I don't spend that much money because YouTube, you don't have to pay much. You just have to subscribe and start promoting your brand. Facebook and Instagram, you'll have to put your quality content in it. First of all, thank you very much, Sachin, for giving me this opportunity. Okay, this is, usually what I do is, on the social media platform, I try to promote the store and, inform the customers that what we are doing. But when you actually sent me a message, I did not. If you could recall, I did not, answer your message immediately. Okay, so I had to really think about it because we don't. I really don't know whether I deserve to be on such a platform where I interact and then start speaking about business or practices and things like that. But anyway, later part, I decided that I should start, giving such things because whatever knowledge that one has, it has to be shared. And then if somebody can benefit out of that, I think they'll be happy, and I'll also be very, very happy. Okay, so that was the intention, and then I replied to your message saying that okay, we can go ahead. And so anyway, first of all, thank you very, very much. Yes. So if you want to ask me any questions, you can go about it. And
How you enter into optical industry? So that is the
optical
basic question because
industry, see, there was absolutely no plan at all, Sachin. So if I have to look at my career, I have not planned even till now. I don't know what is future also, but the only thing that I know is that every day when I get up in the morning, I only think of doing something very good, add a lot of value to my work. But yes, off late, uh, the focus is becoming more and more, and I have realized that this is the only work that I have, and I want to do it. I want to give my best on that particular day. This is what is my plan. I don't have any future plan at all. Yes, if you ask me how did I come into this industry and how did I started my career, it is nothing but I was in need of a job when I was very young boy. So this was the only job that I got. I failed in a couple of jobs, so it did not give me enough energy to continue there. And then when I joined the optical industry, I thought that I'm very good in retail because the way I was interacting with customers, I think 6 months or 8 months down the line, a lot of customers started appreciating me. They said that they like my approach, and they like the way that I attend the customers. So that is how the journey started. And if I have to mention the company, I started my career with Lawrence and Mayo. So it was a very good organization, and I learned a lot in that company because I have not seen a company like that in the optical industry. The reason is that, see, one side you get a lot of knowledge, and the other side you are interacting, customers in a live manner. So there is no way that you are worried about mistakes and other things. So you always tend to learn from each and everybody. So be it your boss or your colleagues or your customers. So that is where I started my career. See, I have worked in three stores in Lawrence and Mayo. One, I spent a lot of time in MG Road. Must be knowing MG Road, Lawrence and Mayo.
Ah,
It was now it is in Barton Center. There's a store in Barton Center. But I actually started from the main store, which was on the on MG Road. There were two stores. So one
there's one
store,
which is inside that complex and all, no?
yes,
Which
yes,
is that?
yes. The one which is there inside the complex is a Barton Center one. Okay,
Okay.
that came little later. So I spent around 2 years in that new outlet, in that Barton Center outlet. So I spent around 2.5 years on the main Lawrence and Mayo, and a year and a half, I spent it in Jayanagar and Malleshwaram.
Oh,
So couple of years, I joined corporates. I worked in a bank for some time, and then I moved on to a very big automobile company, which is even today it is very big. It is Bajaj Auto. So my career in automobile was going very well. So as everybody thinks of some investments and things like that. Uh, at that point of time, when I had saved some money, the only thing which came into my mind was that why not I try some small businesses. So the trade, what I was knowing very well at that point of time was an optical retail. So what I did, you know, I had to, I had just got married at that time. I just told my wife that, say, I wanted to earn some passive income because now that my, the automobile career is going good. So she said, okay, do whatever you want. So, so that was good motivation from her side. And then uh, I made a business plan. It was not a very big business plan. I just it took a while for me and wife to discuss about the brand name, and then we accepted that Optic Nest is something which is good and we should go about it. And after that, we wanted somebody to join us, and because I was a full-time worker in another organization, so it was hard for me to spend time on the business. So from there onwards, a colleague of mine who joined, and then he exited after 5 years. So then again, it became a big challenge for me, and then I decided that it is a time for me to go back and sit in the business whole time and see what happens. So this is how my entry has been, and now I have completed almost 18 years with Optic Nest. So 6, 7 years as in and out, not fully active. But for the past 11 years, I've been fully active, and my 100% time is going to Optic Nest, and the journey is on. And I'm quite happy for whatever has happened, though it is not a planned one. So far, I'm very happy. So let's see what is there in the future. Paka Bangalorean.
oh, wow.
So I did my
Great.
education here, and I did my distance education, my postgraduate in symbiosis.
Okay.
So then later on, I did an executive program for that was also a distance program from IIM Kolkata.
Okay. Acha.
So this is my academic background, and in the meantime, between 2004 to 2010, I did a small diploma from Minto Eye Hospital. That is just
Okay.
because I was associated in the industry, not knowing that my life would become a permanent, become permanent in this industry. It was just an academic interest. I took that diploma and just completed, just to keep it. But today it has become
Okay.
a master tool in my career. So I've been using that along with my other academics. Right now, I have three stores. So when I came back 11 years ago,
Mm.
I had only one store.
Okay.
So it was a very small store. It was in a basement area. If I have to tell you for a retail in the basement area, you will do a reasonable business or a decent business, but you cannot grow, sitting in the basement area.
Correct.
So the day when I came back to the business, I realized that location plays an important role, and all
Mm.
my MBA knowledge you know, came into the action, and then I started looking for a different place. So while I was doing that, there were a couple of threats that I had in the business. That one is that if I have to relocate, I may lose out on the existing customers. The customers who are coming to our store for the last 5 6 years, they may not be coming.
Correct.
And in the new location, I have to work hard in getting new customers. So both were very challenging for me. So I was just looking for a right kind of location. So there I realized that location plays super important in the retail business. So if you are in the right location, I think you are through. So there are one or the other customers for you to do business. So that took a lot of time for me. It did not happen immediately. When I came back, I realized in a year that the business is not going to do well. If I don't do something with the location. So if it has to grow by say every year by 10% or 15%, it would grow by 5% or 8%. So, but the growth was was very slow. So I wanted to grow a little faster. Then later, what happened? I found the bigger competition coming into it. So I saw, opposite to our store, there was a big
Mm.
store with, four shutters. They opened it, and then beside us there was a two shutter store, and then he went on to make it four shutter. So after seeing them, actually, if I have to tell you, a couple of months the business went down. It went down so much. Then I realized that if we go down continuously for about 8 to 10 months, then it would be very difficult for us to come back. But fortunately, I mean, this is such a profession. I can tell you that anybody who enters into this profession, one thing is assured, that come what may, your customers will look into your professionalism. Okay,
Correct.
no doubt, the bigger stores do matter, but they look at how much you are qualified and what kind of services that you can give. You know, that plays an important role. So that point of time, the 3 years of my struggle taught me a very big lesson, that you have to become a very, very good professional. Only then, even if you stay in the basement, people would still come in search of you. So it was good. Those 3 years, I learned a lot. And in 16, 15, 16, 17, the business was becoming better, though I did not get a better location. The business was looking very positive. I have worked almost 6 years without holidays. There's absolutely no holidays for my family. So it was very tough. But on the sixth year, that was a year before COVID, something happened. The guy who was on top of us, he went and told the landlord that he would want to vacate from the place because he wanted a bigger space. And that was a time where I went and negotiated with my landlord, and we moved up. Like anybody, everybody will have that dream that your store has to be like this, like that, and etc. Everything came into my mind. So I approached a very good interior designer, paid him money, and he's a good friend of mine. So he did a very, very good job when it comes to the showroom interior. And after that, there's absolutely no look back. So the journey has been good. Started with, if I have to tell you, um, 11 years ago, my business was about 1.5 lakh rupees to 2 lakh rupees retail I was doing, which was not at all sufficient. So currently we have touched about 25 lakhs per month, so which is quite satisfying. So this is how it is going. Let me see, things are keeping me very busy, and I'm happy to be busy.
Of course, with so
So,
much money, you with so much money, you have to be very busy.
see, right now, see, I'm very fascinated with the technologies.
Okay.
So currently, for the accounts, I use a app, and for the attendance, I use an app. For training, I use a different app, and I try to use all the social medias as much as possible to promote the store. So far, technologies have been helping me a lot. So it has been, I mean, so much of a help that today I don't have too much of a overhead for whatever businesses that we are doing. For the three stores, including myself, we are seven, two in each store. Okay, so there is a weekly off for a staff, and I managed to go there, and then I work there on the weekly offs. So that's how we've been managing it, and we would want to manage it like that for a year or two, and then probably if we become more rich, then we can add a couple of more manpower so that we can lessen the burden on the existing team.
And when did where and when did you open your second and third store?
My second store I opened in 2016 itself on the same Sarjapur main road, which is about 8 kilometers away. It's not a big urban area. It's a kind of a semi-urban areas where you see a lot of IT people living there. So I
Okay.
opened my second outlet there. So the business is very much average there. Even today, it is still it is doing fine. I'm able to pay. I'm able to meet the expenses there, but yet to make great profits. But one thing that I learned by opening that store is that before you open any store, you'll have to do a lot of groundwork. That will help you a lot, because once you open a store, you don't have you don't have any chance to change it immediately, because you have invested so much, and day in day out all your effort will be going through it. So there I realized that before opening a store, you have to do your homework properly, and only then you have to go for it. Otherwise, you shouldn't. Because I have seen a lot of eye care practitioners. They open, and then they open in the not on the prime location. They go slightly inside, off the road, and not on the road. And then finally, what happens is you put so much of effort, but ultimately, what you get out of it and what the amount of effort that you put doesn't match. It doesn't go very well. So that one big lesson that I learned. And when I started looking for a place, fortunately I got a very good, very prime location.
And where was your third store then?
Third store is in HSR layout. This is
Acha,
very
HS.
close to HSR layout, which is about 5 kilometers away from the Sarjapur main road store. So that's in the prime location where you see a lot of floating population.
Right.
So good residential area, good, you have all the brands in that area, very good restaurants around you. So very happening place. So I was very fortunate to get a place like that. No doubt we pay hefty rents. So you have to when you are in the prime location, but it is yielding good result. So I'm happy for it. Absolutely no regret at all.
Okay. So, Sanjay, in terms of marketing and all, like BTA kind of marketing, what are the things you do otherwise to get
See,
customers to you?
Sachin, marketing is something which is an endless work in this world.
Yeah, correct.
So, see, I remember when I was working in Chennai, there was a discussion with my marketing head those days. And one thing that, in Chennai, or you take entire Tamil Nadu, the entrepreneur, the business people there. So if you look at most of the brands, the brand owners, take the lead. Say, for example, you take say Lalita Jewelries. Okay, the promoter himself is a brand ambassador for the business, and he ensures that he communicates to the audience, and then So we very often we see him on the newspapers and things like that. See, which doesn't happen in in most of the markets. So that is one thing that I learned in Tamil Nadu market. So wherever I used to visit and meet people, the promoters would take the step forward and talk to the audience and show their faces and tell them that I am there for you. Don't have to worry. Please come to our store and buy it. So which is not there in a market like Bangalore. So Bangaloreans go on spending money on ads and things like that. So they don't take any personal interest in promoting themselves and talking to the audience. So that is one difference that I found. And then if you see for the last 2 years, I've been busy on the social media, trying to interact on LinkedIn, trying to interact on Facebook. Now I've just started on the Instagram. So whatever amount of time that I get, I want to use that on promoting the store on the social medias and things like that. But my 2 years of my experience, let me share it with you. Currently, I have around 525 subscribers on my YouTube, Optic Nest YouTube. I started very long back, but I did not take that very seriously. But if I see those subscribers, they are genuine buyers. So all those people who have subscribed my channel, most of them, 80% of them, they keep asking me one or the other questions. They keep sending me messages on my mobile. They keep asking so many things that I it is my responsibility to answer their queries. I cannot run away. When they ask questions. So when I do that, there are very good responses, and today we are able to dispense a product to customers who live in UK, US, even in New Delhi. And last week we sold a pair of Preventia D bifocal for a customer who's staying in Madurai.
Okay.
So how do we do that? The business model is very simple. See, our association with Essilor is now, I can tell you, from the day one till date. And Essilor has their consultants placed in all the locations. You take any location in India, they have a consultant there. So recently we sold a pair in Bangladesh. A customer had put a query from Bangladesh asking for this kind of lens, and then I got in touch with the consultant there, SLR consultant, and then he helped me, and then we went to the customer's place, and we sold a product there. So it is possible when you go through the technology, use them nicely. It is definitely possible. So I have sold products to many customers who are there in UK, US, and a lot of customers in Mumbai, and now the last week customer was from Madurai. So with 525 subscribers, I might have generated over 7-8 lakh rupees of business as of now. So it's no, that is what is motivating me a lot. And in the coming years, I want to spend more and more time on the social media, connecting with people, and then taking my brand forward. That is what I'm actually looking for. So this is my marketing plan, if you ask me. And frankly speaking, the money that I spend is peanut. I don't spend that much money, because YouTube, you don't have to pay much. You just have to subscribe and start promoting your brand. Facebook and Instagram, you'll have to put your quality content in it, so people will get attracted if they like it, and then they come to you. But the only thing is that, see, as a businessman, to strike a balance, it is very challenging for me. I'm trying to, give more time on the social media, which is very, very difficult as of now. But I think the coming 6 months, 1 year down the line, I'll be more on the social media. I hope so. That is what it looks like to me. So
So
yeah, my
you
expenditure on marketing is very, very small. I spend only 4 to 5 thousand rupees per month. So what I do
so
with that
you are
money is
doing it
on, yes.
yourself everything. You don't have any freelancer or something who is doing it for you.
I did try that in the beginning, appointing a freelancer. But the problem here with freelancers are that they are not the right professionals to understand about your product, about your industry. So,
Correct.
so I found them, messing up in spite of paying a lot of money, it may not work.
Mhm.
So, I had to take a U-turn. And then during the COVID, we all know that, we were staying at home for, more than a month. And, imagine an optician or a businessman like me sitting at home is not an ideal situation. So that is a time when, I opened the laptop and then started spending more time on it. And I'm fortunate that I found a few mentors whom I still, continue to follow them. So they helped me in, how to, use the social media, and then, make best of, best for your businesses. And now I could see that success. So the credit goes to those people who taught me how to use social media more effectively. And now, I'm, mm, I'm using that, and I hope I'll continue to use that in the coming years.
Do you also because I've seen your store, the older one. I think it has Lenskart store, it has John Jacobs, it has Titan. Then there are a couple of other standalone stores, also big ones. So do you also get customers coming and asking for price comparison? वहाँ पे ये price है आप इतने का दे रहे हो and all that stuff. Does it happen?
Very good question, Sachin. I think this. I think everybody should know how to handle the competition.
Yeah,
See,
correct.
I'll tell you, when Lenskart was coming up very aggressively, I was knowing what they're going to do in the market. So maybe because I am an MBA graduate, so I understand the market competition. So in 2016, the fundamental change that I made to my business, that is, everybody forgets the power of logo. Creating a logo is so very important for your business, because that is what, it attracts people in the market. So logo is central part of your business. uh, you may be investing a lot and and working very hard, but without a good logo you may not be able to find that kind of a success. So today every good business has a very good logo. So what I did in 2015, I tried creating a logo for myself, and then I realized that this is not, somebody like me who can create a logo for my company. So I went on, searching a lot of people, and I met a team who had created a logo for Chai Point. I'm sure that you have heard this brand called
Huh.
Chai
Yeah.
Point.
Yes. Yes.
Chai Point, it became a overnight successful because the kind of logo that they created and the product that started delivering to the market, and I found them to be very very successful. So I went and met that team, but unfortunately the budget what they offered me wasn't feasible, because I was a very small businessman. So over a lakh rupees on creating for a logo wasn't ideal situation for me. So I said,
Right.
I cannot do that. My budget is very small. So can you help me? They said, we can only help you, but we can't go down on the budgets, because there are a lot of people who get involved in creating a logo. So I went on searching a lot of people in the market. Then I was not very successful with it. Then later, say after 3 or 4 months, it so happened that I found a very young college going team. They were very fascinated creating, doing some creative artworks and things like that. So I went and met those boys. I told them that, see, I am looking for a logo. My budget is not very big. If you can help me, then I don't mind paying it. So they said we would they would want me to have some discussion for a couple of days. So the discussion was all over, and then they said that they would take 2 weeks for to put everything together and come up with a logo. So I gave them the time, and they did not deliver it on time, but on the third or fourth week, they came up with the logo, and then they showed me the colors that they are using. And in fact, the color discussion had already happened. And then finally, when I saw the logo, I was very very happy with whatever work they had done. And that is where my the actual marketing started. So I accepted that logo, and I paid my very small budget to them. And right after that, see, when I look at the competition, a competition game is totally different. You should understand who sells what. Otherwise, you will not be knowing competition. So that is what the homework one has to do on the competition. So you cannot sell a product, or you cannot deliver services which the other neighbors, everybody are doing the same thing. People do not want to, watch only RRR 10 times. They would love to watch KGF 1, KGF 2, Kantara, and things like that. So people need change. So that is one thing which was running in my mind, that if I try to operate like how Lenskart or any other guys are doing it here, I'm going to fail. Or I may get some decent business, but the business will, cannot grow. So there, what I did, deliberately, I used to visit these stores, interact with the sales guys, and see, watch out what kind of products they have and what kind of lenses they sell to the customer. And I used to see even the other multi-brand stores also, because you need to understand, when it comes to business strategies are very important. Strategies stay a longer time. Even they don't stay permanently with you, but I'm sure it will,
Mm.
they will stay for a longer time, and within that time, you can do, wonders. So so what I did my homework by visiting all these guys, understood all the products that they're selling and how they are dispensing and all that. And then I changed my business model, because till 2016, if you look at my store, I was selling 80% unbranded frames and only 20% branded frames. And if you look at today, my ratio is 90% branded frames and only 10% unbranded frames. Because that is what happens. If you try to follow somebody, you will not get any result. So we'll have to find our own way of finding the market space. Only then we will be successful. So this is how I've been doing it. And I keep, yesterday, in fact, I'll tell you, yesterday I did visited a competition store. I did not tell them that I come from this store. So I went there, I just checked what lenses they providing and how do they do the eye test and things like that. So that is where I get to know how you can differentiate yourself in the market. So we've been differentiating, and so far it has been very successful. So I don't mind even Lenskart or anybody opening a store beside me. I'll be very, very happy. I would welcome them, and maybe I can help them in opening a store beside me, so that because I know that only by getting them, I'll be more, more and more successful. So I don't mind anybody coming beside me. I'll be more happy for it.
Okay, great, great. Nice, nice thoughts and nice information that you shared. Very
Yes.
nice. And is that the reason that your background is also yellow, because you keep your
See,
brand colors
yellow,
and all?
yellow is my favorite color right from my
Acha.
childhood. So
Oh, what?
even my toothbrushes are in yellow color.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, so yellow is my favorite color, and that's how my logo also has an yellow. And if you visit my store, you will find
Yeah.
the yellow pattern in some corner at least. Either my cash counter will be in yellow, or if you go to my
Yeah.
HSR store, or I'll send you the pictures of my HSR store. The same architect who created the store for me, it is all completely based out of yellow. So I like that, and I'm a devotee of Sai Baba, so Sai Baba loves yellow, so I also love yellow. So spiritually, I'm connected. So that's how yellow is there everywhere, wherever I go.
Okay. Okay. So, Sanjay, you are running three stores. You have a team of optometrist and salesperson also. So, do you want to give some kind of feedback or any kind of information to the optometrist and salesman, that these are things they should do while they are working in an optical store if they want to grow, and these are things they should not do if there's something you want to share with them?
See, Sachin, I would refer to a post that I posted on LinkedIn very recently about optometrist. That would you be an optometrist be doing only an optometry job or a dispensing job also? So if I see there, at least 90% of the optometrists, have said that they want to do both optometry as well as the dispensing job. I think which is fair, and which is very good for the optometrist, because the coming future, if you see, AIs are becoming very popular. Recently, when I went to Zeiss Vision Center, I could see the machines are doing so much of work, and I hardly see optometry job inside the clinic, because that is what the end users will get fascinated about it, because that is where the the changes that are going to happen in future. So I'm very happy that optometrists are saying that they want to do an optometry job along with the dispensing job, which is very, very good. I think that is what they have to learn, because when they do their optometrist course, in during their course nobody teaches them how to dispense spectacles. The focus on dispensing is very minimal. If I look at the curriculum itself, it's more focused on doing refractions and doing 10 other most important thing with the eyes. But I think dispensing is also equally important. I think they should keep this in mind and work on it. And I think if I when I see that LinkedIn post, and when 90% people say that they want to do both, I think most of the optometrists are already into it. They are already doing both the jobs. And now it's only that they have to spend more time on dispensing, learn the all the techniques. It's a mix of selling techniques. So you have to understand how to sell a product. If you don't understand how to sell a product and doing only what the optometry job is, then I don't think they'll have a great career. But right now, most of the optometrists have realized it and they're doing a wonderful job. I think they should have that same attitude and continue. And one most important thing that I want to tell you is that optometrists should never, think that this is the end of my career. It is not the end of your career. Optometrist job is to contribute on a daily basis. Their contribution makes the store grow. Okay, because they are part of this industry. They are not just part of one store or only their profession. So they should have a feel that they belong to this industry very strongly, and their contribution plays a very, very important role on a day-to-day basis. And their practice levels should be improved. It should not be dependent on what the corporates do. Like for example, you join say Titan or Lenskart, they give you a lot of training and they make you do XYZ work, which is fine, no problem. But as a professional, every optometrist should learn better communication skill, better presentation skills, and try to understand every patient and also every customer, and do your job more than what you are doing today. That's the only suggestion that I want to give. Otherwise they are wonderful. Actually that poll gave me a lot of good perspective. So I am very happy for whatever optometrists are doing. I think they should continue doing that. That's it. Recently I have signed agreement with Luxottica for Luxottica Priority Store. So we've been Essilor Expert Store for the last 3 years, and now we have also become Luxottica Priority Store. So I would look forward for more and more partnership programs, because that is where you get more customers walking into your store. So as of now, you need more businesses. So you don't want to experiment too much, and focus on whatever I'm doing right now. As of now, I want to focus more and more on good brands, good designs, and only saleable design, top 5 brands in the world. Have more presence in the store, and dispense good quality lenses, and do a professional job when it comes to the eye test. So this is these are all the thing that I'm looking forward, and contribute more in this area, so that we grow and then see what happens.
ठीक है संजय, thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks for your time.
Thanks a lot. So thanks for giving your time, and also understanding what is happening about the market.
Thanks.
So I hope,
Thanks for your time.
yeah, I wanted to congratulate you and wish you all the very best. Have a
Thank you.
successful career, because you are a very good professional that I have seen you.
Thanks. Fine. Thank you, sir.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Bye. Good night.